has going through those things helped you live more in the moment, like to like appreciate stuff while you have it?
I mean, you realize your own mortality when you lose family members. I mean, every life just seems like this endless ribbon that keeps on flowing, and then, nobody's prepared to lose a parent or a child. It definitely, and then like it still took me a couple years. Like when I busted my head open, I realized that I was put on this earth to do great things, and the best way I could honor the memory of my father and my sister was by being the greatest comedian and greatest human being that I could possibly be, So I think it definitely sharpened the lens focus in that regard,
I tell you, when I see somebody on social media and I lost my parent or whatever, or somebody will hit me up and say, I lost a parent, it hurts, and I go, listen, you want to ease the pain? Here it is. Become the man or the woman that they wanted you to be.
Yeah.
If you become the man or woman they wanted you to be, the pain will disappear. I'm lying to you. It never disappears.
That's true, but I think you to a degree, you're absolutely right.
It softens it.
Yeah, because you'll never get over something like that.
I just celebrated my mother's 40th. 40 years ago, we buried it November 8th.
Wow.
And honestly, it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would hurt. But pain plays with you. Pain plays with you. Pain hits you when you least expect it. It's like a toothache. You know what I'm saying? It's so it didn't hit me that whole week. I thought about it. I lit a candle. I prayed for her. I thought about the night she died. How, fuck, that was 40 fucking years ago. But then I realized something else. I made it 40 years without her. The day that I buried her, I'm like, I got about a year before I can make it without her. So I proved myself wrong. It was such a fucking, that's where the power comes from. There's a song by Lionel Richie called, I think he did it with the Commodores. It opens up, it's a piano thing, and he says...
Sail on? Sail on?
No, he says,
that's a piano opening.
A morning's just a moment away, but I'm with you once again. You laughed at me. You said you never needed me. I wonder if you need me now. It is the most gorgeous words you could hear in the beginning of a song. It's a piano thing, just a piano, and I remember that. Every time that I hear that song, I think about the emptiness I had in my stomach when my mother died, when I first got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got divorced, and you wake up in the morning and you're used to seeing that person next to you, it really does something to you.
Yeah, man. Like this time last year, I spent most days alone in my apartment crying.
Yeah.
And then my friend Joey Diaz called, Hey, Joey, how are you, man?
It's, I still remember waking up and just hearing that song. Here I am, I'm mourning again, and I'm without you once again. Opening the day with that line, brushing your teeth, jumping in the shower. And eventually the song went away. After like 4 years, I didn't hear the song in my head anymore. But it's just so, and I also think pain piggybacks pain. So if you lose a sister in 2009, and just as you're starting to get over it, you lose your father in 2011.
Yeah, it was the other way around, but that's exactly what happened.
It's like taking the scab off the thing.
I hadn't gotten over the death of my father yet.
You didn't even get off
and I didn't think I could handle that. And then fucking my darling little sister. I'll tell you the thing, I don't look at it very much. I think that's cool, like that song gave you strength. The Tupac song "Dear Mama" always helps me.
Oh yeah!
If you can make it through tonight, there's a brighter day. I fucking love that song. But an odd thing, I don't look at it too much anymore, and sometimes the website sticks. And I don't know. I read about this. I think I was in England. I read about this. It's a website called morningbreakfastradio.com, and what they do on the website, there's a picture of the globe. and it shows where the sun is rising all around the world. And it says the sun is always rising somewhere. And what this website does, it's a radio thing, and it'll grab a half-hour snippets of morning radio shows or morning radio from all over the world. So like you could look at it any time of the day. Like right now, the sun is probably rising in Australia or Africa, and you go on there and you'll hear like one Sunday I listened to like a garden show in Perth, Australia. Another time I listened to it roll across Africa one day, and it's cool, man. And it's like a half hour, like because all these radio stations are streaming online now. So I don't know how they have it set up, but it grabs. So I always thought like if you're like in a really dark, fucked up place, it's a good concept to remember that it might be dark where you are right now, but the sun is rising somewhere in the world. I know that's kind of cheesy, but when you're in the toilet going through some difficult shit, it's good to remember that, in Tahiti, people are going to work right now, or, fucking Morocco, they're starting to, bang out the pita bread.
Lee's question before was interesting because he goes, does it put things into perspective? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Next Sunday night, they're having a thing at the store for Brody.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to that.
Okay. You take a guy like Brody, okay, whether you were tight with Brody or you weren't tight with Brody, you didn't care for Brody or you loved Brody like I did. You look at a guy like Brody, you wake up at 8 in the morning, you got all the opportunities in the world, but you tend to turn the fucking TV on and sit there till 2 in the afternoon. Go fucking wake Brody up and ask him if he had the chance, if he'd wake up at 9 and sit in front of the TV till 2 o'clock. Go ask him. With what he just saw, the love and response he saw from heaven or wherever the fuck he is. Everything that goes backwards puts something into perspective for you, because you go, I could be doing something. In the Cuban culture on Mondays, we light a candle for the people, and I have a spirit altar of all the friends I have that are gone, whether it's Carmine Balzano, whether it's Dominic Speciale, Anthony Balzano, Kurt DiLorenzo, Rago. I have a picture of all those friends of mine. My mother, my father, my friend's kid. I had a friend who her daughter was going to graduate on a Saturday and got killed in a drunk crash on a Thursday. They sent me the invite to the party. I got the invite as they were burying this girl. So I've always had her picture up. And my point is, every Monday, before the fucking day starts, before I do anything, I change water for them. I light a candle for them. And as I'm putting the glasses of water, I say, today I'm going to live for you.
Wow.
This week I'm going to live for you. I have a bodybuilder friend of mine, that all I got to do is look up, and there he is with 3 cats that are friends of mine. 2 of those guys are dead. 2 of those guys together were dead. One of them from both of them from drugs. And I sit there and I look at them and I go, today I got to live for them, for what they couldn't do. How lucky am I that I get the opportunity? And I did as many drugs as they did. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was with them a lot of nights. How lucky am I that I'm getting the opportunity to go do what I need to do today? But they're gone. So for today, I'm going to do it for them.
That's cool. You remember that movie Coco that came out a couple years ago about the Day of the Dead, that animated show? That's I loved that movie. And the whole thing about the photos of deceased people that you love. So because of that movie, I saw that. I only saw it like last year sometime. I took all these great photos I have of my dad and my sister, and I made I wouldn't call it a shrine, but I put them on this little wall next to my kitchen where my counter is, where I put my keys and all my business I got to take care of is right there.
Before you leave the house,
I see them every day.
You see them before you leave?
Every day. And
you see them when you come in. And you tap your hand on the table.
It gives me, I don't know, it just
gives you peace, inner peace.
Peace and power, and it reminds me fucking, make the most out of your life today.
Not to forget about those people. Yeah. That he had the picture up by midnight, or they were going to take him somewhere else, or he couldn't cross the bridge.
Yeah.
That's what it was, Coco, that they couldn't cross the bridge. I'm watching this, and
I loved that film.
Took my daughter.
I loved that
She's
film.
loving it, but I'm seeing it from an adult perspective that I live under that rule. I live under that rule. For me to have light, I have to give light to the people before me. I think about my father every day, that poor bastard. I think about my mother, how the fuck she blew her life with alcohol and betting on the Mets. You know, who the fuck bets on the Mets? You deserve to die. You know what I'm saying? And that's my mother. I'm like,
86, that was a good bet.
yeah, I'm like, no, she went down in flames in 73. She went down in that flame with Pete Rose, and the Cincinnati Reds went to New York, and Pete Rose ended up beating up Bud Harrelson.
Bud Harrelson.
That took her for her fucking life that time. So it's just, you know, you look at those people, Lee, and you go, I'm living for that motherfucker today. You know, Josh Adam Myers is going to be on Wednesday.
Mm.
Josh Adam Myers is a nice kid. I really like him, you know. We're not super tight. But you know why I love the fuck out of him?
He's a survivor.
Because he dedicated his life changed when Angelo died.
Who's Angelo?
Angelo was his best friend.
Oh.
And 8 or 9 years ago, I guess, were they in the car together?
Yeah, they were they were open micers together, and a drunk driver hit their car.
Okay, and killed Angelo, and he lived.
Wow.
This kid went on a fucking mission. I have to respect somebody like that.
Yeah.
Josh Adam, whatever his name
Myers.
Myers will always have
Good kid. Love his voice. Got such a great voice.
He'll always have a chair at my table because he did something that a lot of people don't do. And I remember when I did his goddamn jam, I pulled him aside and I go, Angelo's watching down on you, dog. You're making him fucking proud. You know, I might be mad at Josh Adam Myers, but my respect level, because he turned his life around and said, I'm not doing this for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for Angelo. This is what Angelo fucking wanted. And there's certain people who do that and do it with a fucking word on their chest. And you have to respect those people. And that's what I've done. That's what I do a one-man show at the Comedy Store, and that's what the theme is. That I'm doing this. I did this. My mother had one fucking thing for me. Yeah, she wanted me to be in the Army, and she wanted me to be an attorney. That was great. But the main thing she wanted me to be was to be a man. What does a man do? Does he beat up people? Does he have 50 girlfriends? No. There's a certain way a man acts. There's a certain way a man presents himself. There's a certain way a man talks about or to people. That's what she wanted out of me. Well, it took me 50 years to get there, but I got there.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? It took me 50 years.
I wonder if my dad and my sister, if they'd have lived, if I would still be fucking up. And I don't know. You know, like maybe they died so I could have this life change. You know, I don't know.